What's up, party people? Welcome to the club. Settle in, put me on in the background if you want to. New season, new adventure, new timeline. Y'all ever been in your new timeline, like your new season, but the new characters have yet to unlock? Like, I feel like I got a new skin, but the surrounding players in my life have yet to unlock. So I'm interested to see where we're going with this thing. Anywho, the month is February of 2026. This marks the start of my first artist residency. I got a question from someone on another one of my social media platforms asking me to go more in depth about my residency, and art is just not something you can short form. Like, I would much rather give you a thorough response, so I thought it'd be a good time to take my talents to YouTube. Let's really get into the topic. On this channel, I explore all things art, self-development, and my evolving artistic practice. I'm offering an educational and insightful and really honest look at building a life and career in fine arts. We live a very unconventional lifestyle. Our career doesn't look like others. Our home life does not look like others. So I have been assigned to be vulnerable about my journey and put this on display as much as I'm willing to share. I am going to be reading off of my Notion template because if you're anything like me, I recently converted from a type B person to a type A person. Now I need order in my life. Like, I need order in my brain at all times, or else I'm just all over the place, and I don't need that in my life right now. So, to briefly introduce myself, y'all can call me Z for now. Z like zebra. I'm an interdisciplinary printmaker and art director. I use digital and print media as tools to navigate identity, self-devotion, and interdependency. My practice spans screen printing, risography, image manipulation, documentation, installation, and curation, approaching print as both the historical medium of knowledge sharing and a contemporary site for self-actualization. So that sums up my concepts, a little bit about what I'm studying and basing my practice around right now. I am also a traditionally trained graphic designer. After earning my BFA, I went on to work in the creative industry, ranging from advertising to production as a production artist and art director, and many side quests in between, like construction painting, become the first sign installer at a 4th generation owned company. The side quests in my life are literally endless, but that's another story for another video. I consider myself a visionary in the sense that visualizing and materializing visions is my gift. I see things and I am able to tell stories through visuals. I'm able to really make something out of nothing. It is such a gift. Let's get into the question. This question is from Skinnylicious. Can you go more in depth about your residency? I really want to find one, but I'm not sure where to start. Thank you for the question, Skinnylicious. I have no problem giving you as much information as I can. So to start, I want to define what a residency, an artist residency is, so we have a clear understanding. Artist residencies are space and time allocated for artists to advance within their practice. So this could be for someone who is a writer, a painter, a printmaker, a mixed media artist, sculptor, ceramics, performance arts, etc. The residency that you need is very particular according to what medium you are exploring and what you want to learn. These are typically hosted by some kind of art center, a nonprofit, a creative studio, something of that sort. They're all different depending on their specific set of offerings and what your medium is. You mentioned that you don't know where to get started. This is what I recommend if you're trying to just get started on searching for a residency. Think about the last 5 to 10 years of your life and career. Life and career are separate. You are not your achievements in your career. You are a human and a soul aside from your career. But I want you to think about these two things and conclude what it is you want for yourself and your art practice now, considering everything you've seen in the last 5 to 10. It's a little bit of a time gap. But a lot happens in that time. Consider what you want now, and I need you to tap into your imagination, visualize where you see this going. What kind of track are you on from here on out? Identify your motivations. What are your interests? What do you feel is your responsibility to the world, to yourself? What do you want to see in the world? And what is it that you feel you have to offer, innovate, or wish to be a continuation of? Think about the things you want to make. Are there any concerns you have about the world that are not sitting right with you that you want to address through art? These are some questions that I would recommend to start with. You really need to understand what your motivations are going into an artist residency. If you're not clear on that, I don't think you shouldn't apply, but I would say you need to spend some time on your concepts before you start applying, because it's going to make your application process smoother for you. And knowing all of these things will help you clearly communicate to the viewers of your application what your intentions are going into the residency. I say to get all of these things in order first, because when you start applying, you're going to want to have your artist bio, your artist statement, your CV and your resume and your portfolio all updated. It needs to be tight. Like my bob, it needs to be tightened up. It needs to be clear and concise. You need to feel confident in what you are conveying, and I really want you to focus on refining it so that it is digestible for someone who has no idea who you are. Being solid in these areas will give you greater chances of being selected. It is a really competitive field. Like going for an artist residency, there are so many artists that need support, and our resources are very limited depending on your circumstances, your demographic, so forth and so forth. So there will be a lot of rejection, and when you start applying, I would definitely recommend to apply to as many as you can. Have a top 1, 2, but just keep applying. Throw some shit at the wall, and don't take it personally when you get rejected. This is key. I say that because it will feel personal, and that's fine. Process the disappointment and the confusion. You might not be getting feedback, which is unfortunate, but the more time you spend taking it personally, you're kind of getting lost in your emotion, and it slows down your productivity. So I totally understand feeling disappointment about rejection. At the same time, we have to be mindful to keep our goal at the forefront. You need tunnel vision. You're going to need tunnel vision to get into residency, because there will be a lot of hurdles that you need to jump, a lot of logistics, and a lot of fortitude necessary. Where to look? I used Instagram, resartist.com, and Google. Nothing more than that. I searched on TikTok as well, definitely on TikTok. But any internet resource, search artist residency, type in painting artist residency or printmaking artist residency. I just so happen to be in like a very niche fine art sector. Printmaking is not as frequently found as a residency like for writers or painters or mixed media artists. So you might have an easier time if you are not a printmaker, but I have done a really great job at curating my Instagram to show me exactly what I want to see. I literally open that app and there's just open call, artist residency, scholarship, all sorts of things. Like, I am very strategic about the time I spend on social media. I'm usually creating more than I am consuming, and when I am consuming, I'm looking for inspiration, or I'm tapping in with the artists that I want to tap in with my friends, my family. Search your medium, artist residency, the place you want to be in. Start there. Third, you want to consider your artist cost versus the organizer's cost. There are residencies at no cost to the artist. If you are emerging, which would be between the 1st and 6th year of your career as an artist, you're considered emerging, you probably need an artist residency the most, because you need that push, you need the visibility, you need the support. An artist residency can definitely do that for you. Now, like I said, all of the residencies are different, so you need to put in the time to read through everything. They're usually very descriptive about their programs. You need to know if you're going to have to pay for your traveling and lodging, your material costs, all things that must be considered. And then you need to see what the organizers are covering. Sometimes they do cover, they give you a stipend, or maybe they're covering your housing, but they don't cover your flight, or maybe they cover your material, but they don't cover installation. Whatever the case, I don't know. They're all different. Take the time to read through the applications, make a list. Like I said, be type A. If there was any time to be type A, it's right now. My Residency is a collaboration between the Kimball Arts Center and ILA Creative Studios. ILA Creative Studios is a platform and app that is essentially an artist ecosystem. Artists are provided resources such as artistic opportunities and funding opportunities. It's all within the app. You have to be a member. I'll link it down in the description. These are some of the responsibilities of the organizer that they listed to us, the residents. They promise to provide exhibition and studio space for the residency, assist with installation tools and materials as available, such as like drills, hammers, nails, etc. Provide stipends to participating artists, manage artwork sales, and distribute proceeds accordingly. All of that is extremely helpful and supportive for an independent artist like myself. I genuinely need every single one of those things and will definitely be taking advantage of all the support that they are offering. It's a very great deal. And then they also included artist responsibilities. So there are 2 other members in my cohort. One artist by the name of Harlem West. The second artist is Gabby Bozeman. I highly recommend going to check out their art as well. I think it's a really diverse, curated residency group. I am really honored to be selected for this residency and share this space and time with my cohort members. So our responsibilities look like: submit all exhibition materials and artwork information by designated deadlines, provide installation ready work, attend and actively participate in required workshops, studio visits, and the opening reception. Collaborate respectfully during installation and de-installation. Engage fully in educational and community-centered exchanges. Done deal. All of that easy. So the body of our residency looks something like the opening reception, which we had last week. We have 2 workshops, one that is relationship focused and the second is business focused. And then we are required to do 1 studio visit. I went into this residency with a lot of clarity because of the circumstances I faced in my year before. And generally, like I said, just thinking about my last 6 years, I felt ready. What made me feel ready was because of, honestly, my trials and tribulations, truly. Last year was also my Saturn return, and I just am really thankful for all that my hardships taught me in the past year. Although it was excruciatingly painful, it really realigned me. I had a lot of time to think about why I was doing this art thing. Like, what am I in this for? And it's not that I didn't know always. I always knew that I was committed to art, but as you continue to evolve as a person and within your practice, these things just start to look different as far as how you can operate within like your own internal system and how that can reflect your outer world. So I had a lot of time to really think about where I wanted to take things and all of the experience that I had gained. I went on a self-appointed artist sabbatical during the month of November where I cut all communication for a month. I didn't watch TV really. I did YouTube and I was watching a lot of lectures, listening to non-secular music, meditating, journaling daily, every single day. I was journaling for like hours on end. Some days I started to feel actually kind of crazy. But yeah, it was just the longest period of solitude I've ever had. And it really liberated me and brought me closer to myself. I was able to access my creativity and my thoughts to a heightened extent. it was pretty impressive. I recommend reading my Substack article. I'm one of the most interesting people I know. I will also link that. That'll give you some information about my perspective going into the residency. So what have I been up to since starting my residency? The first week was all about getting the installation up. It was a little bit crazy for me because I had one piece that I needed to complete, one print. It's this 2-layer screen print, a part of a 2-print series. The first one was printed back in 2024, which I had exhibited in one show as a solo piece. But I knew always in the back of my mind that I was going to print the second one, and this was my opportunity to do that. Life got ahead of me and I didn't get around to it. So I was like trying to pull together. I was trying to also source material for my new projects because although I love everything that I showed in this exhibition, I am really proud of this work, mostly because of what it did for me. Knowing what this work taught me, how it changed me, is why I do this. With that being said, I am also past the work because it has already transformed me and done for me what I needed it to do. So I am very much in tunnel vision on what I would like to create next. I'm also trying to pace myself, which the residency is really helping me do. I have 3 months. My residency is from February to April, and our work will be on display for 3 months. That's the longest span of time I've had work on display. So I am very grateful to the residency organizers for creating this opportunity for us. It is very, very helpful and very supportive. It's very uplifting. I have 6 pieces on display in this current exhibition. I believe all 3 of us have between 6 to 8 pieces up right now. We are showing work on the 1st and 2nd floor of the art center, so everybody that's coming through here gets to see our work. They also brought in some art collectors, and we had a cute panel discussion on the day of the exhibition. It was great drinks, good vibes. It was a really great time. So from here, I'll be focusing on developing my new works, new research, building out any business ventures that I'm interested in. And to close out, I want to say being in residency is not solely about producing new work. You don't need to prove yourself. It's really a space where you want to build yourself. You want to get to know yourself better, get to know your practice better. It shouldn't feel forceful or pressing. Like it should feel really relaxed. You need to really be in flow state. I would recommend. It's not college, it's not a master's program. Like, you want to create your own schedule, do things your own way, and find out what's working for you, what's not. Sometimes you don't even need to make things. Some artists in this residency have used the time to do research, to write, to read, to just have a moment of respite within their work. So there's no pressure. I always recommend against anything that feels like pressure. Like, pressure is something that naturally will occur because of how the friction of circumstances, but you don't need to foster any pressure within. Release all that tension. So I hope this was helpful, and Godspeed to all artists working to honor their gifts. The world needs you. You need you, most importantly. I need you to honor your desires and your gifts and the things that you are burning inside to create. Know that those creations want you just as much as you want them. If you enjoyed this video, or you've been enjoying any of my content across any platform, please give it a like, subscribe, or share. Please consider purchasing some of my art. Yeah, this has been great. Thank you for y'all's time. Send recommendations on things that you want to know, other videos you want to see. Until next time, XOXO.